Hey everyone, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the assembly video for our wedding dress gift bag. And this one is actually easier than it looks. Maybe it looks easy, actually, I don't know. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with the main structure, and you're gonna wanna find these two pieces here. Okay, I've already pre-folded everything. And then there's two pieces like this, and they have a letter L that's etched into them. They're little score lines, actually. And then you're gonna find this little piece. This one has an L on it as well. And this one does not have an L, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. Doesn't matter which one we grab. These are both pretty much identical, these two pieces. I'm gonna grab one of these, and we're gonna use this for those of you that have been working along with us for quite some time. We're going to use that piece with the L as what we call a skeleton piece. So let's start by putting glue on the inside. This is the smooth side of the cardstock, inside of the tab, and we're going to pop this in, making sure that we get that nice and lined up right into that little corner. Okay, and you can actually put this down on your surface here. I'm pushing this way with this hand as I'm pushing down on the tab. Okay, and that tab is going to be on the outside. That's okay. Just to make this a lot easier to assemble. Okay, now we're going to open this up and apply our glue to the inside of this tab. And you can tuck that tab under the face, just like that, and press down from the inside. Okay, that's step one is done. Okay, now we're going to grab the other half, and we're going to repeat that same process. So we're going to start with this large tab. I always like to start with larger tabs as they use up more surface area, which means that we'll probably get it more accurately aligned if we do that. Okay, just make sure that that corner meets the corner of the dress. And then push in from the outside and push down from the inside, just like that. Okay. Then we'll head over here and apply some glue to that fella there. Tuck that under, push down from the inside, and in up against the skeleton piece from the outside, just like that. Okay, so literally half this thing is done. Now we're gonna do the same thing here. Just make sure you've got the texture side out. Okay, so let's pick one of the large tabs here. And you notice I'm not spreading the glue out at all. I'm just getting it on there, just making sure that I've got enough glue on there. Get that right in that little corner. Make sure the bottom is nice and lined up too. If you can kind of move this out of the way a little bit and just kind of look underneath. Just make sure the bottom matches up and press that down just like we did. Okay, there we go. Like that. Then we'll take this tab, pull it out, apply your glue, fold it over. You can tuck that under. And it can't really move anywhere, so wherever it is, it's where it's going to be. Just continue pushing it up against the skeleton piece and press down from the inside. Okay, now all that's left to do is finish it up. Couldn't be easier, I don't think. Okay, so there's that tab. Apply your glue, and let's just lay this down flat. I'm going to tuck that tab under. And what I'm doing here, I'm looking at the bottom just to make sure that these are lined up accurately. And of course, you want it pushed in as far as it'll go, right up to that corner. And press and hold just like that. And that just leaves this tab. Fold it over, push this way up against the skeleton piece, pushing down from the inside to get that tab to stay, and there it is. Okay, so there's the main structure. Pretty simple, I think. Okay, You can flip the bride over. Okay. And then we're going to find, out of these two pieces, find the one that does not have the L on it. Does not. And we're going to apply glue to one of the longer tabs here. You can be somewhat generous with it. Let's spread that glue out to the very edge of the tab. Okay, and take the piece without the L, and let's get that anchored and lined up onto that tab, nice and centered. Make sure you get it centered. Whoops. Right out to the very edge. You can then take it, place it down on your surface, and press down on the rest of the tab. Help that get in place. We're just creating a bottom for it, basically. Super simple. And that turned out fantastic. Okay, next, we take and apply glue to the remaining 3 tabs. Now we have a lot of area to cover here, so you can be a little bit more generous with the glue here since we have to put the glue on, spread it out, and then take and close the bottom up. Make sure you get it all the way out to the corners. And then as you're flipping this down, focus on getting it aligned with this side here, out to the edge, and centered, of course. And I notice that mine is kind of, I need to push it out a little bit because it's kind of bowing in a little bit. And that's paper for you, it'll do that. And just run your fingers along the perimeter. If you get this side lined up, typically the rest of it will fall into place. And then since it's kind of a weird shape, grab a dowel and push down on those seams. And that actually turned out pretty good. I have a couple little areas here that I have a few gaps, and that's not a problem. Grab yourself a scrap piece of paper. If I have some scraps that are pretty much useless, I know I won't be able to cut much with them, I'll just chop them up into little pieces like this and kind of keep them handy for little jobs just like this one. Okay, and you can just tuck that glue in between these little corners here, or these little sections, and hold those down. Get those seams nice and clean. There we go. Okay, I don't know what that was. That wasn't pretty. This piece here, this piece with the little L on it, what you can do now is take and just very gently apply a little bit of glue to the bottom of this. It doesn't have to be pretty. Okay, then you can take this piece and just slide it in there. Grab your dowel, and I have to move it over a little bit on this side. It's not quite to the edge. There we go. And that's your little liner piece down there. Just to kind of strengthen the bottom up a little bit. Okay. All right, now there's a back and a front. Now the back, let me find it here. Now the back, you have 2 pieces like this left. The back is not going to have any score marks. The front has some score marks. So take the one on the front and just put it away. We're going to put the back on just to clean up one of the sides. Figure out which side maybe has the best looking seam at the bottom. And we'll make that the front. We'll put this on the back. Okay, so it's just going to go over to cover up those tabs, make it all nice and solid. And you can either put glue on that piece, or you can put glue directly onto the structure, whatever you want to do. This is going to be my back. And I'll just begin putting glue mostly around the perimeter at first. And we may need to go and add a little bit of, or do a little bit of glue painting once we're done here, in case if everything doesn't sit completely flat, which can happen. Just line that up, kind of using my fingers to feel and make sure that it's lined up nicely. And that should fit perfectly. The little holes here where your handles / straps are going to go, should match up perfectly. You can flip it over onto your surface and push down from the inside so that we don't warp this thing. Okay, take a look at your seams. If everything looks good, then you're in good shape. Okay, that's going to be my front. All right, cool. So here's where the fun begins. We're actually going to put the dress together here. Now, I do want to mention here, I'm going to do this one first. This, you'll find there's a more lacy variation of the dress in your extras folder if you want to use this variation. Okay, now this one here has 2 sets of score marks, where the standard one only has 1 score mark here, but this one has 2 sets. Now if you're doing this one, which again is an extras version, the first thing we're going to do is put down the vellum, and this is mostly going to be hidden up at the top, so what I would do is just put a little bit of vellum or a little bit of glue right up at the top, and what you're going to do is match this up with that little score mark on the dress, that first one from the bottom, and just make sure that this is flush with the shape of the dress, and press that down. Next, we're going to grab this large piece. There's 3 pieces, and they're all stacked on top of each other. We're going to start with the largest of the 3, and you'll notice that there's a set of tabs on here. Okay, and this is just so that the dress maintains some dimension. Okay, we want some dimension on the dress, and we're actually going to apply this directly to this piece using these tabs only. Okay, so I'm going to put glue on just the tabs. And again, this is the one in the extras version, or in the extras folder. Okay, and it's an optional version. You're going to take that and you're going to line this up with that score mark as well. All 3 tabs that we just put glue on are going onto the surface. You're going to press that down, and we're going to layer this up. Okay, and you can see how, because we have those tabs on there, it kind of makes this part stand out. That vellum that's behind it is just to kind of soften it a little bit back there. Okay, so I'm going to push that down, and while that's setting, okay, we're going to take, and this is a pearlescent paper, so it's not folding as flat as like a cardstock would with just a standard flat. So I'm using this, you can use a bone folder if you have one. I'm using a little vinyl scraper to really help fold those little tabs there. And we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to apply glue to the 3 tabs. And now with this one, we're going to use the next set of score marks right here. And that's going to be flush with the top of this piece. Get that centered. And press that down. So you can see here. Now when we let it go, it kind of creates a nice little shadow there. It's really pretty. Okay, so you have 2 options, and you know what I might do is I might just take this, well, we'll use it in the video for sure. Now with this one here, this one has 2 tabs, and then it has this piece here. It looks like you might want to fold this, but you're not actually going to fold it. That's more of just a guide to make sure that you get it centered. Okay, and that's going to go on like that. So with this, you can actually we'll put glue on the tabs, and then you can put some glue on this little part here where the belt goes. Okay, and just match that up with the little corner piece there. Press that down and press down there. Okay. Oops. Be sure you're patient. Okay, and there again is another variation for the dress. The rest of the process is going to be the same for the standard version of our dress, which I'm going to put together now. Okay, so this here is the same piece that we started with over there, but it only has that 1 score mark. Okay, now before we put that on, I'm going to flatten these out because we have a little bit of trim to put on here. It's these 2 pieces. Okay, you can see this one's a little bit smaller, this one's a little bit larger. Smaller one goes on the smaller piece, larger one goes on the larger piece. So go ahead and begin applying your glue on this trim. So we have white cardstock, and then for parts of the dress, we used some pearlescent, and then we trimmed it out with glitter. So it's super blingy, as a wedding dress should be. And at the same time, didn't want to overcomplicate it either. So I know that if you're going to a wedding, you got enough stuff going on. But this will still be beautiful and elegant. Okay, so that trim is going to go on just like that. Then we're going to put this one on right here, right at the bottom. So let's just go ahead and very gently apply some glue to this little trim piece. There we go. And there we go. Just like that. Very simple. Boy, little particles and dust and all kinds of weird stuff really shows up on white. Okay, so make sure your table's clean. I'm going to take and I need to fold that again using my little makeshift bone folder for that piece, as well as this one. Now for this larger piece, this part is going to be folded in. Okay, all right, so let's grab the main structure here. Nope, never mind, let's not do that. Let's grab this piece. We're gonna start with the large piece here, and you can see the little score mark there. That's where we need to line it up when we place it down. We're only putting glue on the tabs. Okay, and you know what, I'm going to add a little bit more there. I'm going to spread that out to the very edge of all three tabs. That's already drying out, I can feel it. Okay, line that up with the score mark, the two score marks there. There's one on the left, one on the right. Pardon my head if it's in the way, just for a second. And press that down into place and continue to hold. And again, we're getting that little bit of that dress popping out at the bottom to give it some nice dimension without having to do all sorts of crazy layering. You can see how it kind of sticks out and it creates a nice little shadow, making it dimensional. It's perfect, I love it. Okay, so that seems to be in place. Let's grab this piece here. I'm gonna give it another little fold here, a little press. Do not fold at that score mark. That is more of just a guide. But let's apply glue to these two tabs and spread that out. There we go. Okay, we're going to take this and that little horizontal score mark, you want to match that up with the corner where the two angles meet. And then go ahead and press that down. Make sure your fingers are clean. Don't want to get the bride's dress all messed up. Make sure it's centered. Okay, and you know, we can actually fold this back, apply some glue here, and glue that down. Make sure it's centered. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Next, we have this piece here. This is going to go on just like a little puzzle, right there. I picked out. This is from DCWV's LeBlanc stack. We can glue that down. No big deal there. Then we are going to trim. We're going to trim this out with some glitter too. Welcome a new Facebook subscriber. That's what that little cat meow sound was. Thank you. That makes 71,349. Okay, let's match that up with the little cutouts for where the the straps are going to go. Make sure it's centered. Press that down. Okay. Now let's grab this piece here. And that's going to go right on like that, just to trim out that part there and add a little continuity with our glitter trim that we have on the actual dress. Kind of tie it all together. Okay, this is pretty self-explanatory. Just follow the curve and also just match up the little cutouts for the strap. Make sure it's nice and flush at the top. Beautiful. Okay, so this is actually going to go on now, and then the rest of these pieces are for, well, I guess you call it a belt. Okay, so this is going to go on like this. Super pretty. And I think I might. I'm just going to put the glue on this piece here. You guys asked for wedding and graduation stuff. We don't have a lot of wedding stuff, but now we do. We have a really cool card that you guys will see in the next video. It's a reveal card. I don't know if you guys have worked with those before. So, a lot of fun stuff. All right, so we're gonna grab this now, just like we did the back, and pop that into place. Make sure you get it nice and centered. Flush on all sides. Bottom side, top side. Super pretty. And then, you know, we have this little belt made of glitter, but since we're gonna add some, I'm going to use, I think, I'm going to flip this upside down like this and push from the inside. Satin ribbon for the straps, and I may try to maybe incorporate that same ribbon and tie an actual ribbon bow around the waist. We'll see how that looks. Okay, looks pretty good. Looks like it's on there nicely. Got a few layers there. Okay, if you have any little gaps, now's the time to go and clean that up. I like to get that glue all the way out to the edge. It's not that much of a gap, but just enough to where I notice it and I want to clean it up a little bit. No harm, no foul. Okay. And there we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we have these two pieces here, and they kind of fold at a somewhat weird angle. Not really, but we're going to put this on the front, like so. Just like that. Make sure that you can see it. Don't put any glue. Well, you can actually. Put glue on the main part of this, and then go ahead and put a little bit of glue on both of these tabs. Okay, and then just pop that right on there. Make sure it's nice and centered. Press that down, and then press those tabs onto the side of the dress as well. Like that. There we go. And we'll take and repeat the same process on the back, just like that. Go ahead and apply glue to the main part of it as well as the two little tabs. And it's going to go above the little fold there. Make sure it's straight. Flip that over, push down from the inside if you want. There we go. Then we have these two little pieces that are left here. They're just going to cover and go right on top of these two tabs to close it up. We'll do that on both sides. Now we're going glitter on glitter here. So you want to put that in place. Actually, the good thing is it's not going on all glitter. So the center part will make it a little bit easier to keep this all in place. And just hold those two corners together. I can already tell this side here did not get enough glue, and it's already pulling apart, and that's what happens when you work with glitter on glitter. So with glitter on glitter, you got to be patient. Throw a little extra glue on there and just hold it until you're sure that it's there. That's if you're using glitter. If you're not using glitter, you know, I got 99 problems and glitter is one. That's for sure. Okay, so hold that down. Just be patient. And then you're just going to repeat that same process on the other side to get this piece in place. Going a little heavier on the glue here. And there we go. It takes a bit for it to really take, so be patient. Okay, so last step here is just this little flower that we've added as a nice little accent. You want to take and place each of the petals between a dowel and your finger, and then just curl it towards you. And that's just going to bring it to life. Okay, you can curl it as much as you want. Just like that. Do the same thing with the smaller petal. Just curl it in. And of course, in the center of this, I would get like a little pearl or a rhinestone just to jazz it up. And a little dot of glue in the center of the first one. Take the second petal, the smaller one, and rotate it a little bit, offset it, get it nice and centered in there, like that. Again, don't forget, put some bling inside there. Give that a few seconds, and then you're going to take and just apply that right there to the side of the dress, right about there. Okay. If you want to add even a little more dimension to it, you can. Just use a little foam square on the back of this, or a 3D Zot, whatever you prefer, whatever you have in your stash. Place that right about there. And as you can see here off camera, I started to take, I have this satin ribbon. It's like an ivory color, and you can make the handles as big or as small as you'd like. I would feed them through little holes here, like that. Just feed them through, pull them back out the other way. Make sure it's nice and flat. And then, because of how thick it is in the front and the back actually, I just tied a little knot. You might need to double knot it if you want to use some hot glue and not have this little guy sticking out. That's fine too, but I think it's a nice touch. And then just make sure that your ribbon is flat, and feed it through the other end, tie a knot, make sure that the lengths are similar. Obviously you can measure this out before you put it in, just to make sure that they are exact, but you get the idea here. And now, because we could have put the handles or each piece of ribbon going from here to here, but now you have kind of a dress with a strap on it, and that's it. There it is. So that's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please visit us on our YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. While you're there, hit the little bell so you get notifications anytime we release a new project, whether it be paid or free. And if you make this or anything from our new bundle, I'd love to see it, and so would the rest of our crafty community. So head over to your Facebook and do a search for Dreaming Tree Official. That's where you'll find myself and over 46,000 other dreamers that inspire us daily. So hope you had a blast, and as always, I look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos, and please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section, where you'll find over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly tutorials. I'll see you in the craft room.